Hi everyone, welcome to Raise the Bar Live. Today we are in Singapore, a sunny, modern, metropolitan city in Southeast Asia. Singapore is also one of our strategic key cities in CPEC. Singapore, or more affectionately known as the Lion City, is a tiny red dot in comparison with her larger neighbours in Southeast Asia. We may be small, but Singapore is certainly mighty, as it is a leading financial hub in Asia. With a population of more than 5.6 million, we are a very crowded city with a passion for food, wellness, lifestyle, and definitely shopping. So what does this mean for Adidas? It means if we want to win in CPEC, we gotta win in Singapore. For us to achieve brand leadership here in Singapore, we as a team embark on a journey to drive premium experience for our consumers. To tell us more about this premium experience journey, we have with us today our guest, Stefan. Stefan is responsible and in charge of implementing our various Raise the Bar initiative with our franchise partner. So first of all, welcome, Stefan.
Thanks, Declan. It's nice to be here.
Could you please tell us a little bit about our franchise partner, Wing Tai?
Yeah, of course. So Wing Tai is a major retailer here in Singapore. So amongst their portfolio, they have Topshop, Dorothy Perkins, and they've also got a partnership with Uniqlo with a major trade site here in Orchard Road, which is also a key trade zone for us and Adidas. They've got really good relationships with all the key landlords within Singapore, which basically allows us to be planted with our stores in the really great suburban locations, but we've also got two fantastic sports performance locations here in the key trade zone in Orchard Road.
Sounds like you guys are really doing well together, yeah?
Absolutely. So our business partnership back with Wing Tai actually started in 2005. The management team have got a dedicated staff for Adidas, so a sales planning team, which we deal with quite frequently. And basically we've worked with them in a lot of initiatives such as the FSOM, the CI, and our in-store programs like we're doing with Raise the Bar.
That's great, to hear about this strong and collaborative partnership that you have with Wing Tai. So could you just run us through, what you guys do about this Raise the Bar initiative, and how did this initiative take place at all with the partner here?
Sure. So initially, we basically did an internal assessment and a deep dive. We wanted to understand the situation as is. Basically, we've got two participating stores in this initiative, which was Paragon Orchard and Bugis Junction. From an initial business planning meeting, we identified three key opportunities for intercompany partnership, basically to enhance that premium experience for our customers. And basically, we were able to raise the bar. So afterwards, we presented this to the partner and a joint project team came together for a kick-off workshop to align on all the roles and responsibilities. We set up a project schedule and basically determined the to-be outcomes of these.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of hard work, yeah, and also time invested to really implement this Raise the Bar initiative plan. So, how do you guys come together to ensure that flawless execution?
Basically, we created a communication matrix. We basically set a working rhythm for all the meetings, for the store visits and the training date frequencies. And this allowed us to track the progress and the results throughout the journey and also keep it structured so everybody knew their roles and responsibilities. We were able to measure the progress and make some alterations along the way.
Just want to understand a little bit more, what were the three key focus opportunities identified to raise the bar in Singapore?
Sure. One was increased product availability. Two was to add more training for our staff, and third was the excellent brand standards.
Talking about product availability, the brand is really hot right now, and I see so many customers coming into our store to browse, to shop. And me and myself as a consumer, I find that sometimes I couldn't find the size that I want off the rack. So is there something that we can do about this issue that we have here?
It's interesting, Dec, because before the journey began, we actually found that it was taking on average 2.5 to 3 minutes to actually get product from the back of house, and that was affecting the product availability on the floor. And as you said, people are coming in and they want to be able to find their size. Our brand is hot right now, so people don't want to be disappointed, and we don't want to miss opportunities. That was a major takeaway from one of the early meetings, is that we needed to increase that. So we set the goal basically for the product availability being we wanted to reduce that back of house time from 2.5 to 3 minutes down to 60 seconds, under 60 seconds. We also wanted to implement a new back of house based on our SMT, allocating the correct space, making sure that we have high performing categories available, right SKUs. So that was a major takeaway for product availability.
How about the other opportunity of like training and brand standards?
So we found that our stores were averaging 85% on their FARMS evaluations in store. There were some inconsistencies compared to ORT in the way that we were talking about our product. So we really wanted to raise that FARMS score from an average of 85 to over 90. And we felt that this would actually be able to lift our brand standards, lift our training standards, and basically that result would reflect the improvements that we wanted to make. We also wanted to have an overall effect on productivity of the stores. So we wanted to raise our productivity by 10% in terms of a net sales by square metre each.
Those were really ambitious targets that the team has set out to achieve. Having said that, what are the key action steps that you guys are planning to go about achieving those targets?
Well, so the first step, Deck, from a short-term point of view, was we basically implemented a full back-of-house layout overhaul. So we used our space management tool to actually assess the capacities, make those fact-based decisions on which categories are profitable, which are not, which are the most relevant that our customers want here, and how do we maximise the space and the quantity, the article count for these. Also, from a functional point of view, the labelling, making sure that we had a standard for products being labelled, being grouped by article and size. In turn, we envisioned that this would actually reduce the amount of time that staff would have to identify the product at the back, so to allow them to have it more quickly on the floor for the customer, increase the premium experience in that way, but also to reduce the replenishment time, essentially allowing all the full size curves to be on the floor as much as possible, so that nobody misses out on their favourite key categories. And basically, just so that there's a system in place. So this is how your back room should look. These are the categories that it should have. This is your best seller area for your fast moving items, so they can be replenished quickly, so they can be accessed quickly, so we can have the good premium experience and maximise our productivity by having access to them really quickly.
How about running us through the longer term view on that point?
Sure, absolutely. So in terms of a longer view, this year during the Raise the Bar initiative, we actually implemented IMAP with our customer. It's a great time-saving tool, and it's really going to allow us to focus on the categories that are really selling well for us, optimise that article mix and depth, and basically it's another tool to upskill our partner, and it's really going to be part of our scale-up operations for Fall/Winter 18. That's more of the long-term view that we're taking from a merchandising framework point of view. So as I kind of touched on the shorter-term stuff that we were able to implement within the time frame, we felt would have a benefit and be scalable to our other stores, and this would be our next step.
What are we doing about staff training?
In the past, we had conducted franchise and own retail staff training as a separate entity. Or what we actually went out and did was had 5 2-hour sessions, so on a monthly basis with ORT and franchise together, bringing all the staff together, bringing their training team together, and their service champions from in-store, run by our own retail team, our own training team, and we did them on-site, in stores like Ion, did them at Suntec. And basically, we had the 2-hour sessions, and within those sessions, the guys would do a key product download, but they'd also do simulations of service, real-life situations where they interact with our customers. We also had a 30-minute feedback session within that where they can give their own insights, do some knowledge sharing. So these were really interactive sessions with a lot of role play. It was fun, but it was also really valuable. We gave them materials to sort of take back as well and have on their communication boards, so key product information, key insights that came out of the sessions. And also from a continuity or a consistency point of view, we had their staff there as well. So from a consistency point of view, having those key people there to drive the message when we're not around, and also all the reference documents on the product, on our standards, on the key takeaways from the sessions to have on their communication boards. It was really important to see that consistency come to life.
So what are we going to do as well to really impress our walk-in consumer the moment they enter the store from the point of view of brand standards?
We found that in the past we would give the teams their download information in terms of campaign and standards, and so what we intended to do and what we set out and actually did was to put 5 sessions of an hour and a half and upskill them and basically do a VM download with our own VM training team. So essentially what this allowed us to do was to share our best practice, give them real life examples, really set the standard. We had the teams do joint training for our home court conversions with our VMs from CPAC and our local VMs here in Singapore as well. So the teams are actually on hand to put the stores together at Suntec and here at Ion, which we can kind of see around us right now. Those elements are really important in terms of lifting the VM standards. From a follow-up point of view, we had a monthly submission that the guys would do, basically submitting images on a set feedback format, which we were able to give them feedback on. They were able to share the progress and we could track how the stores were looking. And I'm happy to say there was great improvements.
There's a lot of detailed sharing that came from you, Stefan. So, and what I believe is that a lot of the actions that we have done so far over here, it has to come from the point of view that we have an aligned expectation and mindset together with our partners, especially in the way of working from Adidas, which we are guided by the 3 C's. 3 C's from confidence, creativity, as well as a collaboration as well. So, Stefan, could you just share with us how does the partnership between Adidas and Wing Tai goes through this whole 3C during the Raise the Bar journey?
From a collaboration and creativity point of view, I think that we really showed that by being open to the way that we work with each other, being open to new ideas. So whether that be the new structure with the back of house layout, the new rhythm and for training and for visual merchandising, and being open in our communication with each other, I think that it really showed through. I mean, the collaboration was shown through the joint training sessions, our joint VM sessions, putting our home courts together, and I think that all of those together, really sort of embodied 2 of the 3 C's. And finally, confidence. We can really see it come through with our alignment on those clear goals and objectives that we set at the beginning of the initiative, how the team worked together to create them, and that was as a key element. I think that was the embodiment of confidence for me, yeah.
That sounds like a strong team, a strong performing team that's out to play to win. So, having heard all the tremendous things that you have done so far, shall we just run through and discuss about the results?
Yeah, sure.
So, Stefan, can you share with us the key outcome of our to-be targets as a result of the efforts that we have done here together as a team for product availability, training, as well as brand standards in this whole Raise the Bar journey?
Yeah, absolutely, Declan. So I'm pleased to announce that for product, we were able to reduce our before time from back of house to customer, which we initially measured as 2.5 to 3 minutes on average. We were able to reduce that to under 60 seconds or just on as an average. So similarly, in terms of training and brand standards, our goal was to raise our F-arms from the average of 85% to over 90, and I'm also really happy to announce that there's 2 stores, Paragon and Bugis, over the course of the initiative have raised their average score to 92% in the F-arms. In terms of the overall productivity results for the stores, we actually managed to achieve ultimately for productivity a 12% increase. Overall, we were really pleased with the outcomes of the results.
That's a really great effort, Stefan, to you and the team in really driving that collaborative and confidence and creativity way of working in order to achieve our brand leadership here in CPAC. I think what we really see here is true result of all the hard work, dedication and commitment coming from the team, and I really sincerely from the bottom of my heart thank you guys for all that you have achieved so far. Thank you, Stefan.
Thanks, Declan.
I'm truly amazed by all the hard work and effort put together by the Singapore franchise team to deliver this Raise the Bar initiative in Singapore. I'm truly amazed and inspired by what we are hearing so far in terms of the key results, the key learnings, as well as the outcome during this whole implementation process. What we sincerely as well believe is that there is a huge opportunity for us here as an Adidas brand in driving and continue our brand leadership, improving our NPS, as well as delivering that premium experience as expected from our consumers. Thank you once again for joining us on this Raise the Bar Live Singapore edition. We hope you've enjoyed watching this episode with us. Thanks and take care.